In this lesson, we continue to talk about top-down design. One of the elements of top-down design that can be effectively used to control multiple parts within assembly is the layout sketch. Let's open an existing assembly that's set up to demonstrate a layout sketch technique. From your Chapter 10 folder, open the Mold Layout Assembly. This is a simplified model of a plastic injection mold. There are several plates and areas for bushings and pins, and the whole thing is controlled by 3 sketches. The first sketch is called a pin layout, and this allows the designer to lay out various ejector pins, support pins, and holes for bolts and other types of connections. The second sketch is called the plate layout, and this enables the designer to control the sizes of all of the parts from a single sketch. Notice that these sketches are created at the assembly level, so they're not associated with any individual part. And then you can see that each one of these plates is created in context. Let's look at plate 1. The in-context feature in plate 1 is the Boss Extrude, although you'll notice that both holes are also in context. Let's take a look at the sketch under the Boss Extrude and edit that sketch. Notice again that this is fully defined, but it doesn't have any dimensions associated with it. Let's use the display delete relations to examine why this is. And we've got 2 in-context relations, and these are the 2 corners of the rectangle, which is all it takes to fully define. If we look at what the coincident relationships connect to, we can see that they connect to the plate layout sketch. And again, we can see this if we expand the Flyout Feature Manager, the plate layout is one of the layout sketches. So in order to create the sketch for this component, a rectangle was drawn on top of the existing layout sketch, and then the feature was extruded. The third layout sketch in the assembly is called the plate depth layout, might be more accurately called the width. Since the other 2 dimensions are controlled by the plate layout, the plate depth layout controls the remaining dimension. Let's start a similar assembly from scratch. I'm going to make a new assembly. And within this assembly, I'm going to draw a number of plates. I'm just going to do 3 here, sort of simplify things. And then I'm going to use some construction geometry to line them all up. Okay, and now we can place some dimensions. However you need your design intent to go will determine how you dimension the plates. And of course, you've got to get your sketch relationships right so that these things are lined up. I'll also want these to be the same size or the same width, so we'll make them collinear, and then place some sort of a dimension on that. And here I want to control this distance, make that a 1/2 inch. I should rename this sketch to indicate how it is being used. So I'll just say the plate layout sketch. And now I'm going to insert a new component. Insert component new. The cursor is asking me for a plane to start on, and I'll start on the same plane that the layout sketch is on. There are 2 ways to do it. I'll do it one way this time and a different way the next time. I'm selecting all 4 lines of the rectangle, and I'm going to use Convert Entities. And from here, I can extrude to a certain width. This is where the third layout sketch came into play. In this case, I don't have anything controlling the depth of that extrusion. But in the mold layout assembly, there was another sketch that controlled the depth. Now I'll exit the edit part mode, which returns me to edit assembly mode, and I'll insert another part. Insert component, new part. Click again on the front plane to start my new part. And this time I'll use a corner rectangle. Rather than using convert entities, I'm just sketching over the existing sketch. And again, we'll go to mid-plane and 2 inches. This is the method that you would use to build up a series of plates within an assembly. Notice I'm getting virtual components, and again, I can save these out to external part files if I want to do that. So now that's external with in-context relations.